I'm excited to welcome to the show John Bayze, Senior Loan Officer at Nova Home Loans. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, you've been in the mortgage industry for over 21 years.
That is correct.
And I bet during that time period, you've seen a lot of things. You know, the ups and downs of the market, whether it be harder or easier to get a loan, or, you know, home rates rising and falling. You've seen it all.
I've seen it all.
So what do you think about the current market?
The current market is absolutely phenomenal. You can still get a great home at a great price. Interest rates are extremely low. There's down payment assistance to help those that need it. Couldn't be a better time to buy.
Right. Now, that being said, I know a few years ago it was really difficult on a lot of people.
Correct.
And I knew a lot of people that lost their homes, had to deal with some bad credit issues. For those folks that went through that, is there assistance out there for them now?
Absolutely. Most people can buy after a bankruptcy within 2 years. If they've had a house that was included in that, they can buy. It takes about 3 years. But there's definitely down payment assistance available for anybody. And you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
A lot of those credit problems that they had in the past have cleared up, and they've actually are a few years removed from that. So that's what allows them to get into the house, you think, or what is it?
That is correct. Nova Home Loans has a program, a credit department that assists our borrowers with reestablishing credit, making sure that the credit reports are up to date, are reporting accurately. A lot of times there's a lot of things that are on a credit report that are holding our borrowers back. Time only fixes all for short sales, foreclosures, bankruptcies. Those you can't get around.
Right.
But once that time period is ended, the borrower, we need to be working on the credit scores to make sure that we're at a 640 to get most down payment assistance programs.
Sure. And the whole goal there is to get you into a house that you can afford.
Absolutely.
I know that when some people flub those numbers, well, then they're in a house and they may be house poor, right? I mean, they have a nice house, but they struggle every month to afford it. And that's the thing with mortgages, right? It's looking at the overall income and expenditures and trying to, you know, see what's going to fit the lifestyle and what people can actually afford.
That is correct. That is correct. And anytime you purchase a home, you want to make sure that it's something, especially when you have debt-to-income ratio issues. I mean, FHA is the program that we use predominantly for our credit challenge borrowers because the ability to get a loan is at a lower credit score.
Sure.
It's definitely a strong product, and they allow borrowers to go a little higher on the debt-to-income ratio side of it. Not much, but a little higher. But the debt-to-income ratio program, the down payment assistance programs have certain requirements that we have to stick to because they want to make sure that they're not assisting somebody purchase a home that they're going to eventually end up losing.
Right.
So when it comes to debt-to-income ratios, they're super strict when it comes to the down payment assistance programs. But if a borrower is coming in with their own money, sometimes we can get a little flexible with those to assist a borrower to buy a little bit more if the situation permits.
Sure. Tell me about some of those down payment assistance programs. I know that there are definitely some things out there. I know that the government's trying to jumpstart, you know, the economy and get people back into homes. Tell me about some of those programs.
One of the programs that we use a lot is the Pima County Tucson IDA program.
Okay.
And what that does is it gives a borrower three different options. The most popular of those is the 4% down payment assistance. The 4% that the DPA gives you allows 3.5% for the down payment, and the other 0.5% for any additional fees that come along with that program. So it helps cover them. So in essence, the borrower's out-of-pocket costs are very minimal.
Really?
I usually like to tell my borrowers when they're looking for a home, expect about $1,800 out of pocket. And the reason why is when you're looking at a home and you go into contract, it's $500 to $1,000 is what's going to be required for your earnest money. Once you go into contract, it's accepted, you've done your earnest money deposit, then comes the inspections. And those can be anywhere from $250 to $350, depending on the size of the home, the type of home. And then once the inspection has been done and the borrower decides to move forward with the purchase, then there's the appraisal. And the appraisal is about $450. With that being said, we look at about $1,800 total out of pocket.
So I'm going to be looking to purchase another home here in the near future.
Okay.
And what would be the first step for me, you know, before I start going out and looking at houses? What's the first thing I need to do?
It's an excellent question. The first thing you need to do is sit down with me.
Right.
And we will pull credit, do an application, find out where your debt-to-income ratio is based on your tax returns, because you are self-employed.
Right.
We review the credit, make sure that your credit scores are in line with the type of home that you're purchasing, because the different programs allow for different ratios. If you're going conventional and you're looking to put 5 to 10% down, if not more, we want to make sure that we're under a certain amount. If you're using down payment assistance and you're purchasing a home that's FHA under 271,000, we have down payment assistance for those as well. We do pretty much a check on everything to make sure credit-wise you qualify, income-wise you qualify, the type of home that you're purchasing. Every purchase scenario is different, and we want to make sure that our borrowers are pre-qualified and ready to go. That way they don't have any issues at the tail end.
Right.
That's correct.
Now, I understand that if I'm trying to get a loan and I'm not getting as much as I want, right, then I may not be as happy about it. But I understand the big picture is to protect the people buying the house, protecting the lenders, and to protect everybody in general and make sure people are getting the house that they can afford.
Absolutely, and ultimately, we don't want our borrowers to be house poor.
Right.
We want them to still be able to enjoy their life, and not have to work 3 jobs to support that.
Right.
And that's why the changes were made, and I think it's working well. There are a lot of people upset because they can't afford this or they can't qualify for that amount, but we have to explain to them that we're there to protect their best interest.
Right.
And that's what we do.
So for the folks at home like myself who need to go out there and get pre-qualified to get that home, what is the best way for them to get in touch with you?
You can call me on my cell phone at 520-247-1414, or you can email me at john.bayze@novahomeloans.com.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being on the show.
I appreciate it.
I always learn something from you every time.
I try.